Hello, Sociology of Sexuality students, and welcome to your Unit 5 overview. I'm going to do things a little bit differently for the next few units based on feedback from y'all. So I'm going to do this as the step-by-step guide, but I'm not going to get into the details of the content, right? The actual, intellectual exercises that you'll be engaging in, and the meaning behind the readings themselves. I'm going to do a separate video that will be embedded in that third task of what to read, watch, and hear. That'll give you that context and background and additional information that I provide, what it is that this particular unit is asking you to study. And so I'm doing this because I think for some of you, you've been going along, you get it, you don't need the step-by-step guide, but you do still want information from me. So this way, for those of you who still want step-by-step, you can do that here. And then for those of you who are like, nah, I got this, I understand it, but I really want to hear what the professor has to say about the content, then you can just go ahead and skip down to that video embedded in Task 3. So let us go take a look at Blackboard together. Landing here on our home page. Again, everything is here on the home page. They don't really have to hang out over here unless you want to. Scrolling down, and here's unit number 5. So unit number 5 runs from October 18th through the 29th and is focusing on the social construction of sexuality, race, ethnicity, and gender, as well as religion through the lens of queer Arab people and queering Muslim culture. So this video will be here. We have 6 tasks in this particular unit because you have a new assignment, an extra assignment. You'll have your second assessment worksheet. So you'll do 3 of these during the semester. You've already completed 1 that was on the, in September. You'll do 1 this month, and then you'll do 1 at the end of the semester. As always, task number 2 is taking you to the discussion board. Remembering that the discussion board post, I ask you to complete that during the first week of the unit, so sometime between that Friday and Monday. I see all the groups. You should only see the Help Confusions Venting one and then yours. And then you'll click on it and go to the unit number 5 forum and just do another example of what you're learning from the organizations that you have been assigned to study. Some people also provided feedback in the survey checking in with me about how they're not sure how they're doing on the discussion board posts because I don't provide a lot of feedback on those on purpose. I am letting those be spaces for you to explore what fierce advocacy for social justice, for sexuality justice looks like via this one social media platform, Instagram, right? But doing so using various organizations, individuals, nonprofits who are running those pages. So I'm not giving very much feedback except to provide sometimes guidance around language and wording. So for example, if we're talking about reproductive justice isn't just for women because trans and gender non-binary people also need to have reproductive justice in their lives and need access to, sexual health information and sexual health care. And so, there are trans men who get pregnant. Right? There are gender non-binary people who get ovarian cancer. And so, sometimes in my responses to your discussion board posts, I'm really doing it to, gently guide folks in learning what the language of fierce advocacy is and being able to practice that. In terms of the content itself, right, I provided those parameters with the assigned Instagrams to explore. And so that's why I'm leaving it kind of an open space for you and your peers to engage in discussion together. But I also want to honor the work that you're doing, and so I'm giving you a grade for doing that. So hopefully that helps clear that up a little bit. Again, if you're concerned about your own, one post, all posts, feel free to reach out. And I'm happy to engage with you, via email, or if you want to meet one-on-one, we can, and just talk about that. Because I know for some of you, you're really interested in getting more in depth, right? Again, that discussion board post, I ask you to complete it mid-unit. So for this one, between October 22nd, which is a Friday, and October 25th, which is a Monday. I always do the due date officially on Blackboard as the Friday, so that it kicks out a reminder, basically, that it is due, so that you will get it done over that weekend. Again, there's no penalty for late work in this class. Task 3, everything I want you to read, watch, and hear. Again, I'm going to do another video, different than how I've done this in previous units. So there'll be another video embedded here of me going over the content, right? So looking at this intersection of the social construction of race, gender, and sexuality through the lens of Muslim LGBTQ people and also Arab LGBTQ people. You'll then complete your quick facts check-in like usual and your one-sentence summary. Similar to the discussion boards, you know, your one-sentence summaries are, I'm pretty much giving you full points unless you're totally way off base, because it's my hope that as we continue to build on what you're learning and you complete your one-sentence summaries and then review yours and your peers' one-sentence summaries in the assessment worksheets, that you are able to self-reflect and figure out what it means for you to create a really fierce, strong, succinct, clear one sentence. Think of the one-sentence summaries as a scaffolded assignment, right, building up. So the one-sentence summary is your zero draft, your rough draft. I'm giving you 2 points for completing it. And then when you get to the assessment worksheets, that's when you really have to start reflecting and engaging again, right, re-editing. Finally, you have another assessment worksheet. So this is your second assessment worksheet. It is asking you to process and reflect on your learning, your own learning process, right? And it's asking you to do so by reflecting on your one-sentence summaries and the social media posts. I did it in a Google Doc as well as uploaded it as a document so that you can access it either way. If you are accessing it as the Google Doc, make sure that you come over to File and make a copy or download so that you can work off of it, right? Because all of your peers are going to be coming to this as well, so it's not something that you can just write on automatically. So I'm asking you again to visit the one-sentence summaries. I have it hyperlinked here. All I want you to look at for this one is Units 3, 4, and 5. Which you'll see along the bottom here. So there's 4 questions, each with sub-questions to help guide you. The first question focusing on unit number 3. Similar to our previous assessment worksheet, asking you to identify the best sentence. What about the specificity of it makes it the best sentence? Read the excerpt, which was also included in that unit, so you can go back and look at your notes from that unit as well as revisit the reading, and tell me how the excerpt, right, from this reading echoes the ghosts of Stonewall, right? So hopefully this should all be building on itself. It was interesting in the first assessment worksheet, some of you chose the best sentence. It's the ones that were really broad, like pride means love. That is super broad, and that doesn't really help me to assess whether or not you've learned what you need to be learning in this class, right? So yeah, cool, pride is love, got you, it's a good slogan, hashtag, and I'm here for it, but it's not showing off like your intellectual growth in this class. So remember, that's what you're doing with these assessment worksheets and really with all of your assignments, right? You're showing how well you understand the material, the depth of knowledge that you are accumulating, and your ability to apply that to things like social media posts and to critiquing your own and your peers' one-sentence summaries. Question number 2 then takes you to the one-sentence summaries for Unit 4. Continuing to talk about Unit 4. And then finally, the one for Unit 5, again, switching it up a little. What's the least clear sentence? Which sentence is the most clear and the most correct? And then just tell me what 3 characteristics of this most clear and correct sentence, right, led you to choose that one, right? And maybe that is the fact that it has no spelling errors or grammatical errors. Maybe that's because it referenced a very particular reading or an author by name. Maybe it's because you wrote it yourself and you're really proud of what you wrote. You can talk about these characteristics in terms that resonate with you. There's not really a right or wrong answer to C. It's really just about you being able to articulate, right? Reflection, self-reflection, self-understanding of your learning process. What is it, those characteristics that made that stand out to you? So that is it for unit number 5. Again, there's 6 tasks this time because you have the extra task of our second assessment worksheet. If you have any questions about this particular unit, about your grade in the class, please do reach out. I've reached out to students who have indicated on that survey from the previous unit whether or not they wanted to meet with me. And everybody who did complete that survey got their 5 points for doing so. So if you haven't completed it, please definitely go back and do it. Because this is my way of, in an asynchronous class, ensuring that you and I are engaging a little bit in your progress. So we are now moving past the mid-semester mark. Unit number 5 is weeks 9 and 10. The last half of the semester tends to go very quickly, even more quickly than the first half of the semester has gone. I'm really proud of everyone's efforts so far, everyone's engagement. It's actually been a pleasure reading your discussion board posts and getting to know you through your assignments, and I really appreciate your commitment, right, to the class, your commitment to your own learning, and for engaging in a way that really resonates with fierce advocacy for justice. So I will see you online, and thank you for watching.